Right. So with respect to sociology, why sociology? What is sociology? What is the advantage of sociology with respect to UPSC? Okay. So are you born to read sociology? Yes. Nothing like that. See, we have to differentiate between academics and examination oriented. You may not accept it initially. Academics and examination, especially UPSC examination, is different. Yes or no? So you don't, our purpose of this course is not to make you a PhD in sociology. No, that is not the intention. What is happening in recent times, majority of the students who are choosing this subject, humanities in UPSC examination, are interestingly not of humanities background. Yes or no? Engineers ani, doctors kani, they are choosing humanities. And their success rate is good. I show this data from UPSC annual report also. Okay. So we'll slowly, don't expect that you should become a thinker in 2 days. Slowly we will try to deal the subject accordingly, and we will see how we have to go about with this examination. Right. So when we are talking about sociology, right? What is sociology? Study of society, eniology. Okay. Study of society. What is there in society? Tell me what is there in society. UPSC is there. Yes. Marriage, family, power, religion. Yes. Caste, class, race, ethnicity. Yes. Does it matter to us? Should we be bothered about these things? Yes or no? Why we should be bothered about these things? Forget about examination for the time being. Not for complete course. For the time being, you forget about the examination. Why we have to bother about these things? Obviously because we are social beings. Yes or no? We live in society. So we have to study society. Sir, what is there to study in society? Every person who is living in the society has some views about society. You have your own understanding about society. You may feel that one particular group is behaving like that. That is your socialization. You may be right, you may not be right. But you have your own view on everything. You may not have every view. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. But you have your own understanding of the society in which you are living in. Then what is the point in studying it as a course? Right? As I said, UPSC gave it as an optional. So we have to study. That is one point. Anyway, no doubt about it. But we have to understand the society in a better way. Can we study society in a better way? Why we have to study? Ultimately, we have to control. We have to understand it in a better manner. All these things emerged because previously there was no concept of sociology. Okay, 200 years back, roughly. History is there, philosophy is there, astronomy is there, mathematics is there. There is no subject of sociology. These are very classical sciences. But when Industrial Revolution happened in Europe, okay, we will study why only Industrial Revolution happened in Europe. That is also part of our syllabus. But somehow you understand Industrial Revolution first happened in Europe. They started questioning everything. Yes or no? Religion was everything. What you study, what you think, what you have to behave, everything used to be dominated by some social institutions. That itself is indicating that we have to study about society, because there is always a debate between individual and society. Right? How many of you are here because you want to do sociology, or you want to do UPSC, or you are influenced by someone? Someone may be parents, peer group, yes or no, media, or the existing collectors. Yes or no? You will have your individual choice, no doubt. But you are influenced by someone. So rather than you taking every decision, your decisions are influenced by society. Okay, it's not that every decision, but definitely there is influence of society on you. That aspect is studied. Okay, various, how Indian society, why Indians don't follow traffic rules here. Suppose you want to study that. Whereas in the West, if you see some photographs or if you travel to West, traffic rules are followed. Does it mean that we don't have manners? No. The same Indians, if you keep it in Western society, they will follow. There is a mechanism to enforce, not only enforcement. It's not that law is strict, that is only one aspect. But the society understood there. If we follow rules only, we can travel faster, easily. Okay, Dowry Prohibition Act is there, long back, 1960s. Most of you will take dowry, maybe. We don't know. You know. Right? So only law is not the only factor. There are many things which are playing the game. That is understood by sociology. Okay, not a random study. Sir, what is there to study in family? I am in the family life from past 20 years. It's not like that. So we have to differentiate between common sense and sociology. Direct hitting the point. Okay, like for example, in South India, just 10 years back, majority of the students used to take engineering or medicine. Yes or no? You will be feeling as if you are committing crime if you are not taking admission into MPC or BPC. Whole relatives will look at you. Yes or no? So who is determining? Social conditions. Society is determining. Things are changing now, but is it a factor or not? Yes or no? Fine. There are many things, many patterns are there in the society. For example, divorce rates are high in the West. Okay, if Indian family goes to the Western society, if they are married for 10 years, people will be shocked. Oh, you are together for 10 years. It's a big achievement there. Society differs. Patterns differ. In sociology, we study this patterns initially. Slowly, it will go into much more broader dimension. Okay, so the purpose of society is to study about society itself in which we are living. Why I am telling these things? Because this is optional. You opt on your own. It means you will leave it. Optional means what? You have to opt on your own. So, whether you are opting sociology because of society, means social constraints, peer pressure and easy to get marks, whatever may be the reason, or whether it is because of your own individual. I am not saying one is good, one is bad. There are many reasons. For example, there are many reasons for you to become an IAS officer. One may be because some incident, one may be because of your own will. Many reasons are there. Okay, but ultimately who has to read? You have to read. As far as optional is concerned, definitely it has to be associated with a lot of interest from your side. Without interest, you can't make those interlinkages. The examination is demanding that. That is it not copy-paste examination? You know that. Right? By this time, you might have known all the syllabus also. You might have been exposed to GS also. Okay? So that's the reason we have to develop interest. You have to study. That urge should be there for you to know. Not to know, just but put it on the paper. So answer writing is must from the first week itself. I can agree that you may not be able to write all the answers, but we will try. But after 1 month, definitely huge focus will be there in answer writing. Almost I will be making you to write 100 answers. Okay? Regular test series, not a test series, answer writing sessions is a part of this course. Because what's the point? You may be amazed. There are your senior batch students, completed paper 1. Okay, you will be shocked, surprised to know, after completing paper 1 also, they don't know the difference between various keywords in the syllabus. Like, if you know the syllabus, you have syllabus copies, I believe, or you can get easily in the internet. I will supply once the course actually starts in 1 or 2 days. Now, social action, social fact, social system. These are just the words given in the syllabus. What is the meaning of them? Shocked, surprised. Why? Because practice is not there with respect to putting them on the paper. So you just make up your mind to practice minimum 100 questions in the 3.5 months or 4 months course, paper 1 and paper 2, which we are going to do. Okay, deadline is February. There is no point in extending the study of optional beyond Feb. I will do it before that. Okay, then because you have to prepare for your prelims and that mode will be different. Okay, so that is the thing. So we will study globalization, many things, health. So when everything comes under sociology, is politics part of society? Yes or no? Is family part of society? Is economy part of society? Yes or no? Is history part of society? What we are because of our history also. So everything comes under sociology. That's the reason some thinkers call it queen of sciences, especially humanities. Okay, so you have to read all the things. Fine? You can apply these things. It is very broad. It is becoming very dynamic. So the questions which will come in the examination also be dynamic. You have to interlink with current affairs, especially paper 2. I'll elaborate the syllabus and all those things soon. Okay. So just a very brief overview of these things. This statement, incredible power of social forces, cultural forces. Okay, I'll tell you an example. There is a friend of mine, or you might have seen this on your own also. Now, my friend's wife, she conceived, she gave to the birth of a child. Okay. Another second pregnancy also happened. But scientifically or with respect to medicines, it is required to at least have 3 years gap between the 2 births. It will be helpful for the mother and children also. But there is a cultural aspect here. The first child and the second child should be taken to hair cutting ceremony together. This is a cultural system. Yes or no? So does she have a choice now? See. Just an example of how culture affects you. Okay, multiple examples are there. Culture or whether social forces, many things. Right? So our perception, our understanding of sociology is how the external social forces are affecting us. Okay, not only that, how we react to it, that also we study at later stages. Okay, so that is the brief understanding I want to give you about sociology. So this whole thing is about individualism versus social influence. How individual you are, you think, your privacy, your everything. Right, what you purchase is everything is determined by you. No, my dear. You will be bombarded by ads. The society will make you to purchase many things. Commodification. Yes or no? Samsung, new version is released. You will be urge will be developed in you. So slowly that you have to buy. Your phone is fine. Right? On an average, your mobile phones, if you are smart, your mobile phone is smart, it will have more than 100 apps. Right? How many are you using? But still you are going for new models, driven by society. Okay, how much choice you have? Definitely you have choice. You can go for any optional, that you have a choice, but your choice will be constrained in many aspects. Okay, so that's what we are going to study, briefly look at in this syllabus. This is what? Sociology is the study of human social life, groups and societies. Various groups will be there. Caste group, religion group, yes or no? Organization groups also. Google culture, yes or no? Tata culture, Infosys culture. No, MNC is also developing their own culture. They are so big. Okay, Ashok Nagar culture. Yes or no? Nobody bothers about others maybe. No, it is fine here. In old Rajendra Nagar, it is disaster. Nobody bothers. Of course, there are examples. So, intense competition. If person is there struggling with COVID or or some chikungunya, oh, good, take care, bye. I'm busy. Right? Competition everywhere. What you're telling? అట్లా కాదు, అది వేరే డైమెన్షన్లోకి వెళ్తున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు మనం పట్టించుకుంటే అది కమ్యూనల్ అవుతుంది, పట్టించుకోకపోవటమే బెటర్. రైట్? ద స్మాల్ థింగ్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి మేడ్ బిగ్ ఇష్యూ. అట్లా అనమాట. ఓకే, సో ఎవ్రీ రీజన్ హ్యాస్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ వే ఆఫ్ గ్రోయింగ్ అప్. ఆ సొసైటీ అనేది డిఫరెంట్. అమెరికన్ సొసైటీ తీసుకోండి, హైలీ ఇండివిజువలిస్టిక్. ఓకే, అంటే ఇండివిజువలిజం అంటే అన్ని పాలసీస్లో కనపడతాయి. యూ క్యాన్ డూ ఎనీథింగ్. లెట్ us టేక్ దిస్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. అమెరికన్ సొసైటీలో సపోజ్ యూ వాంట్ టు బిల్డ్ ఏ హోమ్, ఒక యువర్ ఓన్ డిజైన్, యువర్ ఓన్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్, యూ గాట్ సమ్వన్, యూ ఆర్ కన్స్ట్రక్టింగ్ ఏ హౌస్. ఫైన్. The person who is regulator of that, who has to give permissions, he will come. The rule book will be very simple. ఇలా అవ్వకూడదు, ఫైర్ యాక్సిడెంట్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి దేర్, యూ షుడ్ నాట్ ఎంక్రోచ్ ఇన్ టు నేబర్స్, యూ షుడ్ నాట్ ఎంక్రోచ్ ఆన్ ద రోడ్ ఈజ్ నాట్ యువర్స్, రోడ్ బిలాంగ్స్ టు ద కంట్రీ. Some basic guidelines will be there, safety precautions. That's it. After constructing the house, he will come, inspector will come, he will inspect. If the basic rules are fulfilled, he will grant the permission. If the rules are wrong, he will demolish. As simple as that. Okay, because rules are simple. But here, to construct a house or to get a permission for a food processing industry, even after ranking very high in ease of doing business, different states, 37 licenses are required only. Okay, because many constraints. How you are affecting that, individuals, you do whatever. See how the concept of this thing, see, we are society oriented, community oriented. Chala factors ni మనం తీసుకోవాలి when we are designing any policy. అక్కడ కూడా అంతే. Why America in many states in USA are allowing marijuana to take legally? Why prostitution is legalized in some of the states there? Drugs are also, some of the drugs are legalized in USA. You might have seen the news also. Why is it not possible in India? Yes or no? I used to always say, if drugs are so good, we will take it as breakfast, na? With masala dosa. 99 varieties are there. Yes. Why we are not taking? Because it has various severe health impacts. Health impact of drug is same whether it is in USA or whether it is in India. Then why certain societies are allowing? Why certain societies are not allowing? So it depends on the society. Right? So American is individualism. You do whatever you want to do without affecting others. The state will not interfere. Okay, anyway you do illegally, so let's legalize it so that it can be done, I can get some tax. It can be safe also. That's the reason they will legalize gambling. They will legalize these things. Individual choice. But once it affects others, once you are harming others, police will be there in 5 minutes. Like that. So the society will determine what laws, yes or no? It will have a huge impact on the way it is functioning. So we study these things in our sociology. Simple. Now the question comes, sir, what about background? Background, Balakrishna. No, what about our background? Is it feasible for us if he belongs to engineering or non-humanity background to study a humanities subject? You can read your own subject on your own, suppose what you did graduation. Okay, but can we take these humanities subject? Yes, you can. Why? Because look at the pattern of the examination. The examination pattern itself is demanding for you to choose a simple optional. Yes or no? See, I don't want to compare optionals. It depends on your interest ultimately, no doubt about it. But what is the time gap between prelims and mains? Just 3 months. In 3 months' time, you can't do optional on the first slot. You have to do only your revision and answer writing practice. You have to complete your optional before prelims, no doubt. But how much you can revise? Whole 4 years electrical engineering subject. If you are so strong, by the time you get revision, that itself is done. What about GS? 5 papers are there in GS. Okay, optional is only 2 papers. So how it is, these are all the factors. These are all not the main factors, no doubt. First factor is interest, no doubt about it. Okay, because you have to read ultimately. Second factor is, will the background matters? Now I am saying, depending on the analysis from the last few years of UPSC, many people who are belonging to different backgrounds are able to score very well in humanities subjects. Simple, they are simple. It's not that we are doing MPhil or PhD, I said already. Okay, we have to understand the concepts, conceptual clarity, what is group, what is things, what is behavior, what does the thinker say. Conceptual clarity is important. Once you achieve that conceptual clarity, syllabus is limited, do the answer writing practice very honestly, you will be in very easily. So majority of the non-humanity students have passed by taking this subject successfully in this examination. I will show you the annual report also. UPSC annual report. All the data is given there. Okay, so it is simpler. Fine. That's the reason we can manage this. Our own behavior. So our subject matter is what we are studying. Behavior and social beings, not individual being. Fine. Social being is the term which will be used here. So our social being depends on the context. Yes or no? You behave in the same manner in this classroom or in your room. People will be horrified if they see how you behave in your home. Yes or no? Inte arustunavu, dance chestunavu. Yes or no? But in social life, calm. In different setting, calm. So the context will change your behavior. Yes or no? So definitely there is influence of society. You may be like, Hitler batch. But in the classroom, you have to listen. Right? There is no democracy here. Fine. If everybody speaks, nothing will come. When I ask questions, you have to speak. No choice. So your choice is also limited. You have to speak. Social constraint. Depending on the context. Atla. Business lo okalaga. Friends to okalaga. Unknowns to okalaga. Different. If suddenly mimmalni classroom ni తీసుకెళ్ళి American University lo పెట్టాను, your behavior will be different. Cultural shock ఉంటుంది మీకు. Right? These are the things. University lo okalaga. Family lo okalaga. Fine, our behaviors change. ఇవన్నీ మన సిలబస్. సో ఫస్ట్ అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే మీకు సిలబస్ షాక్ ఉండదు వెన్ యు ఆర్ స్టార్టింగ్ సోషియాలజీ. రైట్? కొంచెం థియరీస్లో టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్స్ ఉంటాయి. బట్ అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ యూ ఫీల్ యాజ్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ హైలీ రిలేటెడ్ టు ద సబ్జెక్ట్. అదే అడ్వాంటేజ్. సమ్ టైమ్స్ దట్ విల్ బి డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ ఆల్సో. మొత్తం తెలుసు అని ఫీల్ అవుతారు. యూ ఫీల్ యాజ్ ఇఫ్ యు నో ఎవ్రీథింగ్. Only commonsensical answers you will go and write. The examiner will give only common marks, not selection marks. 10 marks ki 2, 3. Welcome back. First welcome sign board cheppanu kada, welcome antadu malli. Write the exam again. Okay? So we have to go it some academical ga vellali koncham, no doubt about it. A language ravali, slow ga vastundi. Fine, but it is just what is our area? Okay, like tiger will set his area, niche area, environment అవుతుంది కదా. Okay, every organism has its niche. So we are also setting up our ఎక్కడ ఏంటి మన సబ్జెక్ట్ మ్యాటర్ ఏంటి అన్న కంటెక్స్ట్లో we are going about this things. So as I said initially, sociology is not the first subject to do so. Philosophy, history, అన్ని ఇంతకు ముందు they used to study about societies. Okay, so industrial revolution happened. Come back to our original thing. Industrial revolution happened in Europe. Many changes happened in the society. Right? Modernity, religion was questioned. Fine. Progress. Human beings can progress on their own. Family structures were questioned. Many things were questioned. So many changes were happening. Social crime also intensified. Poverty also intensified. So in order to study all these problems, a new field emerged. History la kaadu, economy la kaadu, philosophy la kaadu. We have to study the society in this manner, in a scientific manner. Why scientific? Science అని ఎందుకు అంటున్నాం? Why science came into picture? Before to industrial revolution, everything was based on, if not everything, many things was based on religious. But science started questioning some things. Right? Disease is there, not because God is putting, or nature is putting some fine to you. No, it's because of a bacterial infection. Take the medicine, take antibiotics, you will be cured of the disease. Previously, if disease comes, everybody used to look up, God bolke. Someone used to be saved, someone used to die. Persons who got saved, they feel that God saved him. But actually, who saved him? Immunity. Every person has immunity. Tablet is not there yet. Right? Then slowly tablets came, science came, questioning came. Darwin's theory of evolution came. Religion says man is created by, అక్కడ కూడా మళ్ళీ పేట్రియార్కీ, మ్యాన్ ఏంటి ఉమెన్ కాదా? ఇది మన స్కోప్, అలా చూడాలి మనం. ఓకే, రిలీజియన్ సేస్ హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్స్ ఆర్ క్రియేటెడ్ బై గాడ్. బట్ డార్విన్ కేమ్ అండ్ సెడ్, నాట్ మీ, డార్విన్, he said that no, everything started from a single cell. How that single cell originated, we don't know. Life started, but from single cell organism, multi-organisms, amphibians, reptiles, anni vachai, fish, plants, ultimately stupid fellow called human beings. So we evolved from apes అని చెప్పాడు. రిలీజియన్ అలా చెప్పిందా? చెప్పలేదు. సో కౌంటర్స్, హీ ప్రూవ్డ్ ఇట్ సైంటిఫికల్లీ. సో అట్లాదే వి స్టార్టెడ్ క్వశ్చనింగ్. సో ఇన్ని చేంజెస్ అవుతున్నాయి. ఓకే, ఆ చేంజెస్ను వీ హ్యావ్ టు స్టడీ. ఎలా చదవాలి? హౌ వీ క్యాన్ కంట్రోల్? క్రైమ్ ఎందుకుంది సొసైటీలో? ఓకే, వై డ్రగ్ అడిక్షన్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఇన్ ద సొసైటీ? ఓకే, ఫర్ సింపుల్ థింగ్స్ పీపుల్ విల్ డూ మెనీ మిస్షీఫ్స్. యూ విల్ బి సర్ప్రైజ్డ్. ఓకే, అగ్రెషన్ ఎందుకుంది? మెనీ థింగ్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఆన్సర్. సోషల్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్, ఇఫ్ యూ బిలీవ్డ్ సమ్వన్, హీ చీటెడ్ యూ, టుక్ యువర్ ఆల్ మనీ, అది ఇండివిజువల్ కాదు, చాలా చోట్ల అవుతుంది. వై దట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్? సోషల్ ప్రాబ్లమ్సే కాదు, బెనిఫిట్స్ ఆల్సో. హౌ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డిజైన్ సోషల్ సిస్టమ్స్ సో దట్ వీ క్యాన్ లివ్ ఎఫెక్టివ్లీ. అల్టిమేట్లీ ద గోల్ ఆఫ్ ఎవ్రీ సైన్స్ ఈజ్ వాట్? టు క్రియేట్ ఎ బెటర్ హ్యూమన్ లైఫ్. అంతే కదా? సైంటిస్టులు ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నారు? ఫోటో ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ఎందుకు కనుక్కున్నాడు. హీ వాంట్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లోర్. ఐన్స్టైన్ కనుక్కున్న తర్వాత ఈ కెమెరాస్ అన్నీ యూజ్ అయినాయి, అవునా కదా? వితౌట్ ఫోటో ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఎఫెక్ట్, హౌ టు కంట్రోల్ రైట్, వీ విల్ నాట్ హ్యావ్ ఇనఫ్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్. సో ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ టు, మీ సెల్ఫీస్ కూడా ఉండేవి కాదు, సోషల్ మీడియా కూడా ఉండేది కాదు. సో ద అల్టిమేట్ పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ సైన్స్ ఈజ్ టు క్రియేట్ సంథింగ్ విచ్ విల్ హెల్ప్ హ్యూమానిటీ. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఇన్ ద సేమ్ మేనర్, ultimate purpose of sociology is to create a better understanding about society so that we can create a good society. Adi purpose of beginning of sociology. So it's a very new field. Okay, so people has always observed ఇంతకు ముందు జరిగేది, కానీ ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం? సైంటిఫికల్గా వీఆర్ అబ్జర్వింగ్. ఫిలాసఫీస్ అన్ని టీచర్స్, రిలీజియస్ అందరూ చేసినవే, కానీ వాళ్ళకి డిఫరెంట్గా ఫ్రమ్ ఇండస్ట్రియల్ రెవల్యూషన్ the sociology field will try to observe it in a scientific way. Everybody, ivanni manam discuss chesinde, I am just putting it. You have your own understanding of your lives. Yes or no? But that may not be scientific. Okay, so in order to study properly, this field of sociology emerged. Common sense ki separate ga. This is a definition of sociology. ఓకే, వాట్ ఈస్ సోషియాలజీ అన్న కంటెక్స్ట్లో. సో బిఫోర్ గోయింగ్ ఇన్ టు దీస్, సరే ఒకసారి మీకు ద ఇంటెన్షన్ ఆఫ్ డైరెక్ట్లీ జంపింగ్ ఇన్ టు దీస్ ఇష్యూస్ ఈస్ ఫీల్డ్ తెలియాలని, అవునా కదా? అదే ఇంటెన్షన్. ఈ డెఫినేషన్స్ అనే తర్వాత రాసుకోవచ్చు, ఇట్స్ ఓకే, నాట్ అన్ ఇష్యూ. నౌ చూడండి, కొన్ని ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ చూద్దాం. వాట్ దే హ్యావ్ ప్రూవ్డ్ విత్ దిస్. సొసైటీ ఈజ్ ఎవర్ చేంజింగ్, అవునా కదా? So always the study of sociology relevanta kada? Yes. So how it is changing, we have to observe. Fine. So many thinkers came initially. Thinkers enti, what think? Sir, I am thinking every day morning also. No. They try to observe patterns in the society and try to give some laws which govern those patterns. Right? You have quantum theory. Vinnar kada? థియరీ ఆఫ్ రిలేటివిటీ, యూ మైట్ హ్యావ్ హర్డ్. ఏంటి థియరీస్ అన్ని? థియరీ ఆఫ్ థర్మోడైనమిక్స్. ఓకే, దీస్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ బిహేవింగ్ లైక్ దిస్. సో ఇఫ్ వీ క్యాన్ కంట్రోల్ దెమ్, వీ క్యాన్ గెట్ మెనీ అప్లికేషన్స్. అంతే కదా అల్టిమేట్ పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ఎనీ థియరీ. సో లైక్ దట్ సోషల్ థియరీ కూడా ఉండాలి అని చెప్పారు. సో హీ ఈస్ ద ఫాదర్ ఆఫ్ సోషియాలజీ. He is perceived to be father of sociology, called Auguste Comte. He coined the term sociology. ఓకే, ఏం చెప్పాడు, ఎలా చెప్పాడు, ఎందుకు చెప్పాడు అన్నది ఇంపార్టెంట్. పాజిటివిజము ఇవన్నీ తర్వాత డీటెయిల్ చేద్దాం, నో డౌట్స్. మీకు జస్ట్ ఓవర్ వ్యూ ఇస్తున్నాను ఫీల్ రావటానికి, ఎందుకంటే అల్టిమేట్లీ యూ హ్యావ్ టు చూస్. సో దిస్ చూడండి, సోషలాజికల్ కంట్రిబ్యూషన్లో అసలు ఈ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఎలాంటిది అన్న దానికి, ఇఫ్ యూ సీ దిస్ సూసైడ్, ఇఫ్ యూ స్టడీ ద సోషలాజికల్ అనాలిసిస్ ఆఫ్ సూసైడ్, we will see the scope of the subject, how it got developed, we will understand. Now, what is suicide? Sir, sir, first class lone we choose this, starting with suicide. That is the challenge of sociology. Okay, suicide, you feel as if someone commits suicide, generally it is commonsensically it is assumed it is individual. Avuna kada, a individual commits suicide. That is his personal frustration, or it is momentary. Reasons emaina, is it an individual action or a group action? Individual action. Exemptions unnai, don't quote that movie Johar Ceremony. Okay, ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఏ మూవీ అది, పద్మావతి, యా, మాస్ సూసైడ్, అది వేరు. ఎగ్జంప్షన్స్ తీసుకురాకండి. ఓకే, అక్కడ కూడా థింగ్స్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్. అదే వీఆర్ అల్టిమేట్లీ గోయింగ్ దేర్. Interestingly, now individual suicide తీసుకోండి, where we almost understand it, we no doubt we accept it that it is personal choice, individual, highly loneliness, ఏ రీజన్ అయినా. ఓకే, యూపీఎస్సీలో ర్యాంక్ రాలేదు, అన్ఫార్చునేట్లీ లైఫ్ ఈజ్ బిగ్గర్ దాన్ దట్, ఎస్ ఆర్ నో, యూ నో. ఓకే, అవర్ పేరెంట్స్ జనరేషన్, మెజారిటీ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ don't accept this concept of suicide. However poor they are, they used to live happily. Every 20 days there is a festival. Yes or no? Wednesday is a holiday. Then again festival. Then again festival. Social life. In spite of poverty, suicide rates were zero and no, minimum. Now we have smartphones, smart cars, everything is there. Still suicide becoming big. అంటే when society is changing, suicide rates are changing అనొచ్చా? This analysis is given by one thinker called Emile Durkheim. He particularly chose suicide. I already told sociology is a new field, relative ga. So he has to establish sociology is relevant. అవునా కదా? Right? సో ప్రూవ్ చేయాలంటే ఎస్ వీ నీడ్ ఏ స్పెషల్ సైన్స్ కాల్డ్ సోషియాలజీ అని ప్రూవ్ చేయాలి కదా. ఫర్ దట్ హీ హ్యాస్ చూజన్ దిస్ థీమ్. ఓకే, వీఆర్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ ద టాపిక్, బ్రీఫ్గా చూస్తున్నాం అంతే. ఇన్ డీటెయిల్ చాలా ఉంటుంది దాంట్లో. మోర్ థింగ్స్ విల్ బి దేర్ ఇన్ డీటెయిల్. నౌ సూసైడ్, యాజ్ ఆఫ్ నో యూ అగ్రీ దట్ సూసైడ్ ఈజ్ పర్సనల్, ఇండివిజువల్. ఓకే, అలాగే ఉందాం. సూసైడ్ వీ విల్ అజ్యూమ్ దట్ it is personal, lonely and individual thing. Okay, that is not the case with respect to social factors. There are many social forces which influence the suicide rate. Okay, he collected data. I am talking about 19th century France. Okay, 19th century appude develop avutundi sociology. He is the beginner in a way to establish the subject. He proved the facts. Married people, unmarried people. ఎవర్లో సూసైడ్ రేట్స్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి? మెన్ ఒకలాగా చెప్తారు, అబ్బాయిలు ఒకలాగా చెప్తారు. కానీ చెప్పండి, ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేశా. బట్ ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఏంటంటే మ్యారీడ్ పీపుల్ హ్యాస్ లెస్ సూసైడ్ రేట్ దాన్ అన్మ్యారీడ్ పీపుల్. హీ ప్రూవ్డ్ ఇట్ విత్ ఫ్యాక్ట్స్, కలెక్టెడ్ ద డేటా. కామన్ సెన్స్ ఏం చెప్తుంది? సూసైడ్ రేట్ ఇండివిజువల్, ప్యాటర్న్ ఏంటి అంటాడు. దట్ ఈస్ వన్ పాయింటర్ ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్. ఓకే, సెకండ్ పాయింట్, రిలీజియన్ తీసుకున్నాడు. ఓకే, ఫ్రాన్స్, విచ్ ఫ్రాన్స్? టుడేస్ ఫ్రాన్స్ ఆర్ 19th century ఫ్రాన్స్? 19th century ఫ్రాన్స్, మెనీ రిలీజియన్స్ వేర్ దేర్. ప్రొటెస్టంటిజం అంటే దీంట్లోనే సెక్స్ అనాలి, ఇట్స్ ఓకే ఫర్ ద టైమ్ బింగ్. ప్రొటెస్టెంట్స్, క్యాథలిక్స్, జ్యూస్ ఉన్నారు కదా. He found out that suicide rate is very high in Protestants. వాట్ ఆర్ ప్రొటెస్టెంట్స్? ప్రొటెస్ట్ చేసే వాళ్ళు కాదు. ఇట్ ఈస్ అ సెక్ట్ ఇన్ క్రిస్టియానిటీ. Okay, they have taken a different understanding of the, when compared to Catholic Church, they took a different understanding. All believe in Jesus, no fine, not a problem. Okay, so when compared to these three major groups, ఇవే ఉంటాయి కదా, బుద్ధిస్ట్ జైన్స్ ఉంటారు కదా. So when compared to these three religious groups, suicide rates are more in Protestants. It means what? Many people who belonging to Protestants religion in 19th century France are committing more suicides. ఏదో రిలేషన్ ఉండాలి కదా. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ సేయింగ్ హూ విల్, ఐఎమ్ అంటే ఇక్కడ డర్కైమ్ ఈజ్ నాట్ సేయింగ్ హూ విల్ కమిట్ సూసైడ్. హీ సేయింగ్ ఐడెంటిఫైయింగ్ ద ప్యాటర్న్స్. ఓకే, వార్ ఉన్నప్పుడు, వార్ లేనప్పుడు. హీస్ కంపేరింగ్ పీస్ టైమ్ అండ్ వార్ టైమ్. Okay, suicide rates will be more in war time or peace time? Some are saying war. He showed that, prove కాదు ఇక్కడ, ఇంకా ప్రూఫ్ రాలేదు. He showed that suicide rates are more during peace time. Okay, patterns తీసుకొచ్చాడు. He compared not only France, he compared different societies. In each society, the suicide rates are different, but interestingly, they are constant. Concentrate చేయాలి. కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ లేకపోతే బౌన్స్ అయిపోతారు. వీఆర్ హియర్ టు డూ ఇట్ వెరీ ఫాస్ట్. ఫాస్ట్ అంటే ఫాస్ట్ కాదు, ఎంత పేస్లో వెళ్ళాలంటే అంత పేస్. మీరు నిద్రపోతే టాటా బాయ్ బాయ్. ఓకే, 2 weeks తర్వాత నిద్రపోనివ్వనులే. ఫైన్. నౌ సోషల్ చూడండి, ద మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? సోషల్ ఫోర్సెస్ అంటే యుఎస్ఏలో కాన్స్టెంట్గా సూసైడ్ రేట్ అంటున్నాను. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ సూసైడ్, హూస్ కమిట్ సూసైడ్. సూసైడ్ రేట్, నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ కమిటింగ్ సూసైడ్ per this much of population in this particular society. That suicide rates he was able to observe there are constant. అంటే if there are no any big social changes లేకపోతే. Okay, so it means every society is influencing suicide rate. What he is talking? It means he is predicting how many people will jump in Hussain Sagar every year on an average. Yes or no? Don't take me wrong, I am not. See, it's a very personal thing. Nobody should die. Even a ant, even corona virus, everything will try to live. Mutation means what? It is trying to survive. We are putting up more vaccines, more drugs. It is trying to survive. It is changing. It wants to survive. Damn it. Human beings are dying. It's a very unfortunate event, no doubt. Now, once we say it individual, we only look at psychological factors. But once we are able to identify it is social, individual kuda untadi, no doubt. Once we are able to identify it is social, the remedial measures should change. Avuna kada? Okay, I will tell paper 2 example now. Farmer suicides. Okay, you will be surprised. Farmer suicides increased in India only after 1991. After LPG reforms. NCRB data. Verify. Go and verify. Individual suicides used to be there previously, no doubt. But farmer suicide rates increased after 1991. So this means there are social factors. Yes or no? If one person is unemployed, okay, if one person is unemployed, it means it is individual. Or few people are unemployed, it means individual. If 60%, 70% of the population is unemployed, is it social factor or individual factor? Social factor. Okay, మీరు కూడా చెప్పచ్చు. If you fail UPSC, it's not individual, it's social. 10 lakhs apply, 1000 seats are there, so I will fail. Will you accept? No, you have to try. I already told, we are only talking about suicide rates. Who will enter? Nobody is telling. Okay, if you work hard, you will be in. If you don't, you will be out. Social factors enti. So, you have to understand the competition, which is a social factor. Based on that, you have to study, put your effort. समझ में आया? This is interlinking. like that. Okay, so he was able to prove that social factors will affect the suicide. Okay, suicide, which is very individual, it is being showed as a social phenomena. Adi base అయింది. That became the base for establishing the subject of sociology. अब बोलो